Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to the podcast. I'm really delighted about today's guest. He is an entrepreneur in every sense of the world. A word. He is from Calgary, Canada, and Michael Leung, and he is the CEO and founder of the Flow Group. We're going to talk about the work that he does with his innovative technologies, empowering seniors and individuals with disabilities, underserved groups, and really happy to have him on talk to the audience of doctors, lawyers, dentists, entrepreneurs, business owners. So, Mike, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, briefly introduce yourself. I know you've gone through a lot of things and a true entrepreneur journey, and we'll dive into the questions.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so obviously I'm the CEO of the founder of the Flow Group, and basically we promote a new, healthy, and affordable way of hearing. And we also encourage seniors to adapt, evolve with us with new technologies that's life changing. And obviously, it's an affordable, healthy way of hearing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I really love that. And we'll talk about like I love ending
Sorry,
with
Chris. Yeah, I
mindset.
can't hear the
And
volume. Sorry, just a second.
yeah, we're talking about mindset, and I love ending on an inspiring note. But talk about what the Flow Group does. I know you have an innovative product and who it caters to, and we'll dive into further questions.
Yeah, it actually helps people from as young as 10 years old up to 95 years old. And it's basically an assistive hearing device. So it looks like it looks like a bone conduction headphone, which it is a bone conduction headphone. So you wear it in front of your ears, right? Nothing goes in the ears. And tons of bone conduction headphones out there, but ours is only one that added amplification to it. So now it can be used as an assistive hearing device too, right? So now you can do everything you can do, listen to music, talk on the phone, but now you can use it to actually socially engage with others, like a hearing aid, except a fraction of the cost. And the open ear design sitting in the front using bone conduction is the healthiest way of hearing because everything you can be aware of your surroundings. There's no earwax buildup, minimize tinnitus. And everyone I work with is just waiting for some new option other than hearing aids because they're just tired of wearing it. It costs $8,000. They're losing their hearing aids. And this is something that's just easy to use, senior friendly, water resistant, easy, rechargeable, hands-free, everything. So I think it's going to transcend the hearing industry, and everyone seems to be very excited for it. The demand is very high for it. And hearing loss and sight loss is very important. And there's billions of people that have hearing or sight loss sometime in their lifetime, right? Yeah.
And so really nice introduction to the product. And so just talk about how long the product market journey and where it can be bought, how much is it, and we'll talk about the product growth and expansion.
Yeah, my company's been around only for 2 years. So luckily, my first idea and product actually came to life and people are just grasping onto it because before I got into the industry, I knew hearing is important, but I didn't know everyone was going to be gravitating towards it, including loved ones. They're just like desperate. They're like, oh, my parents just can't wear hearing aids anymore. Either they're allergic to the product or it just keeps falling out or they just don't, it's too small. They have to change the batteries. So because this is large enough, and it's comfortable enough, it wraps around your head, it doesn't fall off. And more seniors are actually gravitating towards using it. Before they thought it was a little too techy, a little too young looking. But now it's actually great because it's a headphone. It looks like a headphone, but because it's amplification now, no one knows it's actually a hearing device. So it actually masks the stigma of people that don't want to wear hearing aids, especially young people, that you can wear this hearing device, but use it as a assistive hearing device as well. So people that actually a little bit of pride, especially like when I work with seniors, a lot of the men, they don't come to my events, but the wives come. So then they share it with them. And after I've done the event, they ask me to come to privately to see the seniors, like the men, and I can work with them quietly. So there is that stigma attached, right? So this really helps. And it's $189.99, and I give 10% off for everybody online or in person. That's my first version, right? The second version, the Flow True Balance 2.0 is coming out in September. And that one is advanced in every way. We added so many new features to it, including dual volume, because the first one is just one setting and that's it. This one is dual control on both sides because some people have hearing worse than one side, right? So you can adjust it. The most important is that the background sounds. We have a noise reduction chip that's planted into the headphone. So now there's a significant reduction in noise background sounds, which drives everyone crazy, including people that wear hearing aids, right? So this is what sets it apart. And that's why people are pre-ordering. I can see why, because people that want to focus on the sounds in front of them, they don't want to hear the background sounds. So if this is the product that actually can do that, I think it'll change a lot of lives, right? My other product actually helps people that are blind as well, because people that are blind, you need your hearing to be enhanced, right? To help you navigate, right? When your sight is diminished, now you need your hearing to be Spider-Man, right? So you want to hear the footsteps, you want to hear the closed door, you want to hear who's coming towards you. So some people welcome background sounds and some people don't like background sounds, right? So I have two products that cater to both communities, right?
Interesting. And I'm really curious, 2 years, and what sort of, when you're creating these assistive devices, are there any sort of regulatory challenges, and why, how close are you to competing with just the standard hearing devices?
Yeah, there's always going to be challenges. Like when I first got into the industry, the senior industry is very hard to get into because there's a trust factor. They don't trust anyone that just comes in. They do get tricked a lot by a lot of scams and stuff. So luckily, I had a colleague that is an executive director to Seagull. And when I first pitched it to her, she's like, "Oh, this is gonna be a great idea." She started bringing me along with her to different events, and that's when I first started with seniors. And because I am partially blind over the years, I had a retinal detachment. I have a retinitis pigmentosa, so I've lost my peripheral and my night vision. So I have tunnel vision on one side, right? Over the years, I've met a lot of seniors too. But this is before I knew I was going to get into this, right? But I already had some bonds already made with seniors, so I was used to talking to seniors. And we tested a whole bunch of seniors, hundreds of seniors before I even launched the product. I wanted to get their feedback on it. There's obviously different types of prototypes I used, and I finally centered around one, right, that they like the most. And over the years, they keep giving me feedback. So then I obviously promoted this new version that's even better, right? So you have to keep evolving, right? That's the way this goes in technology business, or else you get left behind. And I felt that the hearing aid companies had their time to create something that's different, and they never did. So I do a lot of events, and I actually see a lot of hearing companies around, and they separate us because they don't want any staring contest or something. But I do my own thing. But I can tell there's way more hearing companies, like hearing aid companies out there, and they're just wondering what this is about. They're like, why is there so many people lining up for them? And they're always trying to like figure me out. But the affordability is obviously the biggest factor too, right? Something under $300, if it can work the same way as something $8,000, people are gonna obviously want to try it out, right? And the fact that it has so many benefits and everything attached to it is polar opposite of hearing aids. And people ask me, do I want to make it medical? I don't want to make it medical because I'm actually allowed to sell this as a recreational device, but it has the medical features attached to it too, right? So one day I want to have it in Walmart, Best Buy, when people just pluck it off the shelf, they can use it. They don't have to go to get their ears tested. 90% of people I tried, it just works, right? So doesn't matter what hearing like disability they have, right? It works from mild, moderate to severe hearing loss. The ones that didn't work as well is the one that born with like almost like profound hearing loss where they need a cochlear implant, then that won't work, right? There's limitations. But I wanted to keep it affordable because once you put it through medical, now you got to put it through all these tests. You got to put money towards it. Now this is not gonna be $200, $300. This is gonna be $2,000. So people appreciate it's only a couple $100, and they can afford it. Most people can afford it. And the ones that can't, we're helping them. I'm partnering up with different senior brands, partnerships. We got grants coming in. The grants are going to help low income families get free products or very discounted products, right? So that's already in the making. We have contracts going to be signed, big collaborations, announcements coming soon. So yeah, a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, that makes that helps elucidate a lot of the questions that I have, just the regulatory. And I know you're in Canada, just these devices, and it sounds like it's not retail, it's just you go on the website, it's like direct to consumer, you go on the website. Talk about just the hyper growth, like just how many sales or your margins, and how you plan to, it sounds like you're achieving some form of product market fit, and what do you plan to do to hyper scale this company or grow the company?
Yeah. like I said, it's only been under 2 years, and the direction is going in so many different directions. But right now, I'm trying to cater towards seniors, but also I have big conference meetings with the big blind organizations, nonprofit, even the indigenous communities, because they only work with their own communities, but because they really like this concept and to help low income families, they're up for meeting up with me to talk further while helping their communities. With the profit margin, it's big. You gotta keep it between 60, 70 profit margin. And I get it directly from family sources, right? So my family has factories in Asia. They source me out to different people because they couldn't handle the amount the volume I want to do because I want to make it global, right? One day, besides my audition for Dragon's Den, that's going to also help me push further towards global. But right now, seniors, and that's such a big market already. There's seniors everywhere in the world. They all need something, another option other than hearing aids, right? I can't convince everyone to use it, but if a good amount of people use it, it's spreading around word of mouth. And children with autism, that's another group I want to work with, just children with special needs, because I had a couple of kids that I worked with and they just learned easier in school. They're just excited. It just helps them learn easier with this product. And yeah, I work with labor workers, firefighters, mechanics, oil riggers, people that go to raves and they ruin their ears from the blast of the music. Anyone can use it. So all walks of life is such a broad, untapped market that I feel like it's gonna go really well. So I'm not worried about competition either, because once you actually put your time and blood and sweat into it, people recognize you and they appreciate you, respect you, and you're like the first guy to do it. Everyone else can do it as long as you have a just because you have a product doesn't mean you can sell it. You got to really resonate with people. You got to really put your time and effort into it. And that's what I'm doing, right? Every day I'm always in a CEO. I'm doing different things with dementia patients too, with and Alzheimer's patients, like different things. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Interesting. And I assume Dragon's Den is the Canadian version of Shark Tank is here was what I assume.
Yeah.
And it sounds like your customer base is Canada in the which is really interesting. We have around 5 minutes remaining, and I'm really curious your journey because how you've developed this really interesting product and just what you've obviously what struggles and challenges have you faced that helped inspired you to create this and talk about the true grit of an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to, like I said, I've been lucky to find my first product and actually really land a lot of interest and support. But it was not always like that. Like through the years, I've done real estate, I've done stocks, I worked in the hotel industry, did everything from busboy, dishwasher, everything. But really opened my eyes when I was younger because I took hotel management. I got top grades, everything, and then I tried to apply for the management position. And my manager came to his best friend with zero experience. So I got really, I felt cheated and stuff. So then I quit, and then I just started working with my friends, did real estate. But then over time, I just learned that trusting friends and doing stuff that I'm not particularly fully interested in. And back then I was younger, I was not as determined and passionate as I am now. I was more like laid back, a little just tricked by people a little easier. So I lost a lot of money through investments over the years. And after meeting my ex-girlfriend, we dated for 12 years. She really opened up my eyes just to like earn your own position, really push for your own brand, your own product, and be your own person, because now I have full control over my own destiny, right? Whereas when I trusted other people, most of the time it went to nothing. And when you try to get the money back, it's gone. So it was just very sour friendships. A lot of friendships end up getting tainted. And as I grew up, my mom passed away of cancer. So I didn't have that nurturing parent in my life. So I became quite bad over the years. And alcohol and addiction, everything came in hand. So a lot of close calls, but found my way back. And here I am, like, trying to change the world, make social impact.
Yeah, very interesting. And a lot of people they get into entrepreneurship for the same reasons. They want to just basically the concept of jobs for Gen Zers. They look down on jobs like kind of people that can create their own destiny and which is really inspiring. If you were to end it, talk about how people can connect with you. And really interesting is it's almost like a mini Shark Tank interview. Talk about how people can find you and some final words of wisdom.
Yeah, so my website is www.theinnerflow. Tinnerflo.com. So Tinnerflo without the W.com. My Instagram is at the Flow Group or the Flow Group. And my second product is $299. So it's about $110 above my other product. But that's launching in early September. And that will be on the website as well. People can purchase that in 140 countries through Shopify. So we can do the fulfillments. I've been working with the people in Australia, Germany, just different countries, sending my products out there. They all love it. So it's just a matter of time. I think people are going to all find out about it. And what I hope everyone gets out of this is like other young entrepreneurs that want to find their own product. I would tell them to stay away from Amazon, because I feel like Amazon can destroy your product. If you want to fully grow your own product into your own brand, your own image, do it outside and grow it outside of Amazon, right? Because it hits home more, right? It becomes more meaningful when you have your own product that's not on Amazon. When it talks bad about them, they're great, but that's how I did it, right? And I think everyone should chase their dreams, because I'm a blind entrepreneur that's still doing what I can to help other disability communities, to help them get some awareness to this.
Yeah, interesting. I think a lot of product and entrepreneurs here, their dream is to get into a Walmart or Costco or like major big retail. But it's interesting if you can go direct to consumer and have that big of a reach is amazing. Thanks so much for coming on. Really enjoyed talking with you, and keep up the great work.
Yeah, thanks. So can I have one more thing? So the Dragon's Den, I'm auditioning it for next March. So 2026. I hope I'll get the call to make it on TV, and I'll announce it if I make it on TV to share with you guys. And I actually filmed Legacy Makers, which is a spin-off of Shark Tank. And I finished that, and that's going to be airing next year as well. So I'll put that up as well. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, well, definitely we'll keep you in mind and add those links when they become available.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you so much.
See ya.
See ya.